See, every time I like call Kenichi an asshole or some shit, he always brings it back with some really good point. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with the final episode of Voltace 5. We just got done. Surprising that we're in the invasion here, and we're 34 episodes in now, and the first time that we actually tried biological warfare was one episode ago. Especially considering the fact that Zool seems so underhanded that it seems like he would try something like that, and he never did. Even though he pulled out an amoeba and it did nothing biological with it. In fact, he turned it into a machine. Very weird. But Heinel and Jangle, well, I guess Jangle did, and then the Heinel was there with him, confirming the fact that Professor Go is alive, and that the Go brothers are Boaznian, which implies then that I guess Professor Go must be Boaznian. By the way, I know he is. I was paying attention. I just mean, I guess from their perspective. What else? I don't think they learned anything else from that. And of course, Jangle seems to be a bit more accepting that it's a thing. Not that he likes it or anything, but Heinel is, as always, just pissed off. Granted, the element here, I don't think is going to happen this episode, but the element that at play that I keep wanting to see is the element that Heinel has very strong feelings about his father, and the element of being a traitor and whatnot, and the element that he doesn't exactly know who he is, and the show very much seems to push the idea. Okay, I say that it's pushing the idea. They're not actually saying it on screen, but through all evidence gathered, that Heinel is also a son of Professor Go. So therefore, he's going to have problems with this. I mean, also the element that Professor Go is a hornless Boaznian. So it seems more than likely that Heinel's horns are going to be fake. And that's never been tested, right? In a fight with Kenichi never swiped at the horns and knocked one off. So who knows, really? Which is also, led into my whole, what will the generals think if it turns out that that's true? I think Catherine is going to love him no matter what. Catherine is ride or die. Jangle feels like the real racist in the room. And our new guy doesn't seem to have horns. So how does he even have the rank that he has? I'm very confused about that one. It doesn't seem like they're allowing slave generals. Because, Donga would still be a general, I guess, without horns, if that was true. So if he is hornless, then I guess by default he would be on Heinel's side. But then again, I mean, that's a very complicated matter. One, he could be self-hating if he is, in fact, hornless. In which case, how dare you get to your position while I've suffered my entire life to be even this far? Alternatively, he could be hornless and Heinel could be hornless, and he could hate Heinel from the aspect of, you've propagated this kind of society that I've suffered under, while yourself being one of us and avoiding that same suffering that you've inflicted. There are so many angles to both he could support him or he could hate him that I have no idea. But I am worried now, at episode 34 that we are, there only being 6 episodes left after this, that we might not even attempt to cover that sort of complexity. So yeah, I mean, the closer we get to the end and the further away we feel like from a resolution, the more worried I am that there might not actually be one. Does Voltace 5 Legacy act as to finish the show? Or, I know it's a live action, and the Legacy would make me think remake in live action. But the closer we get, the further I feel like we are from the end, that I'm concerned that we're going to be left on a cliffhanger of sorts. But then again, the number of people that love this show and got it a live action remake of it done, I feel like if it was a cliffhanger, they would seek an ending, not a remake, right? I don't know. I'm lost in the weeds on this one, so I think we're just gonna go ahead and hop on in and see what we get this day.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
That's right. You heard me just say, see what we get this day. My brain has been shitting itself for like the last 3 to 4 recordings that we've done, to the point where I can barely talk. And I feel like I'm doing that improv thing where you start a word and you don't know what you're going to say and you just like your way out of it. Like, I can't do it off the top of my head because I can't do anything on purpose. The things I've been saying have been completely mumbling my way through things. But yeah, like I said, the next time on shows that the people who have suffered the most losses, which I have mentioned before in past comments, are going to stand opposed to what the Voltes 5 team thinks needs to get done, which I appreciate as a viewpoint. But I don't know where it pushes the narrative ultimately towards the end, as per my previous concern. I think this is a completely different port from the one where we had the boat competition. Way to cause a panic there, my guy. I mean, I don't know what you would do here. Everybody in your homes? No, because all the homes you can see are destroyed. So it's a slave raid. Jesus Christ. Like I said, they've killed millions of people across the world. I mean, judging by the episode title and theme, I'm gonna guess no. Sorry, just stop translating. I mean, legit, this must have been happening the entire background of the show so far. What a weird phone. Usually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Remember, Sakurunji is the guy who shot at everyone's feet the moment they tried to leave when he arrived the first time. Fuck off. Resign then. Yeah, it's like, why wouldn't you think he would resign? It's like, fuck off. Okay, that's a bit far. I mean, I'm fine with his I hate all Bosnians thing, only because of, you know, especially recency bias and exactly what everyone's gone through so far. But the Voltes 5 crew should not be included in that. Equivalently by recency bias. Also very fair and valid. Again, emotions don't need to make logical sense. I mean, to be fair, what he said is a fireable offense. I don't disagree with the firing thing. I guess this is from the element of understanding the pain that he's in and that his words come from that position of pain. But he also said, I will kill you. That's a bit too far. Again, he said he would fucking kill Kenichi. I mean, he's not wrong. He is a Bosnian. But you gotta recognize that these guys are fighting on your side. I mean, also, more than that, Kenichi is the guy who's like, we can't kill them, we need to take them hostage. Or prisoner. That would be the reason to get into a fight with Kenichi. Still. Can't see how make you sound fucking kill you. That would get you fired anywhere. Yeah, Kenichi's the one who should understand this. He wouldn't kill Jangle. You should understand the guy's suffering underneath your direct control. No problem putting on your lipstick back there, Catherine? What the hell's going on? Yeah, this guy has been more effective than Zool, I think. You know, I think Heinl should waste some opportunities. Because I feel like a lot of these failures come from his, we can't let's go to waste, attack them now. Can you imagine if he didn't attack them now and he just let the anger fester? So what is his beard hairstyle? I mean, I understand why they're doing this. To piss off the people at Big Falcon even more. The ones who were essentially about to riot. But at the same time, why did you fucking out yourself? Your son works for Big Falcon. Don't say that to the people who are actively trying to kill everyone at Big Falcon. Also, that is an oversized coffin for just 2 people that you don't even care about. Like a box the third of its size. Or, not even a box. You dropped one of your own men in parts at your front lawn. Just drop their bodies via, like, saucer. I thought you already got fired. I'm surprised you're even going through the process. I mean, are you the ones to blame? Legit, I don't think you should have gone down there to interfere with a guy who's getting drunk and angry. But at the same time, he said, I will fucking kill you. Wow, pretty powerful, motivating stuff. I think it's even worse that he's calling it policy all the time. He didn't violate the rules. He didn't break the law. You violated policy. Oh right, Sakunji likes robots, I forgot. I don't know. They didn't defeat you last time when people were running out of the base. Yeah, also, weren't you the one trying to drill teamwork into us before? See, every time I, like, call Kenichi an asshole or some shit, he always brings it back with some really good point. Really should have said this to the captain, by the way. Contrary to the belief of the Bosnians. I think this is probably Kenichi's, like, strongest speech. Sakunji is sometimes such an asshole, I half expected him to say no again. Oh, right. I totally got on board with Kenichi's speech so much I forgot about this. Yeah, I don't think there's any pulling this back. What, that they would start killing people? They legitimately captured them to turn them into slaves. Is this much worse? Also, why didn't you ever, like, raise the shields? Is this like, is the point of this episode that they just don't understand human emotion? Because it seems like we're losing more Bosnian soldiers than instilling any sort of, like, riotous violence against our own crew. It's really hard to argue not to do to them what they do to us. The real dick move to put the kid, the one most in front of Kenichi. Really would have been a stronger point to make if Kenichi wasn't pointing a gun back. Of course, somebody got shot. Really wish he could have survived. Really good character to have brought back. See, this is the drawback, is they feel the need to put a beast fighter into every episode. End the episode right there. Perfect. One of the best. Like, easily my top 5 episodes. Like, I'm putting it only top 5 because of recency bias. It might be, like, one of the best, but I have a hard time thinking about an episode that had as much emotional impact as that one. Like, the speeches. Those were the best speeches I think I've heard in this show so far. What they really should have done is they should have extended the Nakamura storyline for like another 5 minutes. Like, deal with him dealing with the other people from Big Falcon for a little bit longer. Have him give his impassioned argument to Sakunji on screen, so that when he leaves the room and he's like he won't change his mind, we know what his position is and why, but we can give like stronger wording to it. I apologize, I'm probably just going to talk over the entire Beast Fighter scene. Here's the problem, and I don't know how you possibly could have gotten 34 episodes in of me watching this and not realized this by now. Unless the Beast Fighter has, unless the Beast Fighter has a very specific thing to do in the episode, like back when Zool brought in a Beast Fighter to scan the Voltes 5 unit so that they could mess with the transformation sequence. That was an important Beast Fighter moment because that's the Beast Fighter doing a thing. This is just, I got a bug toy. Can we sell a bug toy? And it actually detracts from the episode. Like, if this was like an 8 out of 10 episode, it becomes a 7 out of 10 episode because 1/5 of the episode is meaningless. I really hate sometimes where they include the Beast Fighters. Or, our guy who was too honorable and thought of Dengue as a father figure. And then having his, broken parts spread across the Big Falcon yard. Really important stuff. Did not detract from anything. I understand the point, though, that a lot of these stories, like most of them, do not center around a Beast Fighter. And if that was the case, you'd come out of this show thinking that the Bosnian invasion forces had, 5 Beast Fighters total. But then again, you could have done episodes where, the Voltes 5 unit gets into, Visions of Escaflowne fights, where it's, the Voltes 5 versus, several Beast Fighters at once. That would be a thing. That would turn even an inconsequential Beast Fighter fight into an interesting visual spectacle. But then again, I guess I gotta remind you, I'm also the guy who says I'd like to watch a Gundam series that has no Gundams in it. At least Nakamura got to fall in love before he died, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kenichi, swayed a bunch of us. Except maybe not so much with the final argument, but certainly the argument in the control room with Sakunji. Definitely right now feels like one of the top 5 episodes. Like that one and the Professor Go backstory one. Really good stuff. Hell, Professor Go backstory episode, not a single Beast Fighter that I can recall on top of my head. Some of the best episodes don't include a Voltes 5 combat scene. I don't have it on my schedule to do a Voltes 5 character ranking because so few characters in Voltes 5, and I think they'd all wind up in the same spectrum. Who's gonna be an F tier character of Voltes 5? They all have almost the same amount of storyline, or on-screen appearance. Fortunately, though, I also don't think I'm gonna have enough content to do a top 5 episodes listing. So I don't know. Maybe I can include that when I do the Voltes 5 extras, just a short little segment in the middle of that, my top 5 episodes. Because I'd like to showcase what I think is the show's strongest points, from my perspective. That's surprising. I know I just last episode, or it was early this episode, I referenced the mother, and it was last episode. I referenced the mother and the baby, as nobody knows where Professor Go is anymore. Everyone's dead. And it's oh, the mother and the baby do. I thought the show forgot about them. There they are. Next time preview. Who is the fugitive from planet Boazin that General Bergen has captured? What is what is the desperate rescue mission that Voltes 5 is aiming for after their fusion is prevented? A reunion between father and son leads to a tragic death. Look forward to the next episode of Voltes 5, Requiem for the Star Warrior. I mean, seems like it's pretty well spelled out. Who is the fugitive? It's the father. Was the desperate rescue mission? Well, I don't actually know that one. I don't know what the rescue mission is for. I didn't think I saw one there. Unless they captured the mother and child. Reunion between father and son leads to a tragic death. Seems pretty well implied the father dies there. Although, weird that the child is like... But I think that's because children don't know what death means. So, yeah. Again, though, it does not feel like, that does not feel like an episode that's going to carry us to the finish line. Which means that the episode 35 doesn't do it. That we only have 5 episodes left. 5 episodes left for Professor Go to go back to Boazin, deal with the Emperor, solve the problem of racism and slavery, Prince Heinel to realize or not realize, I guess, the chances in the air, that Professor Go may or may not be his kid. That Professor Go to realize what happened to his love back on Boaznia, again, who I suspect to be Heinel's mother, i.e. 9 months later gave birth to Heinel. I guess she's dead, right? I think that's Heinel's backstory, is that she's dead. Yeah, like I said, though, I guess technically any of those events could happen in one episode, or all of them could happen in one episode. It just feels like way too much for a single thing. I don't know. Again, the element here, though, that this is probably... Because I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, so I'm not going to try and make a list right now off the top of my head. This is probably, the number 2 best episode of Voltes 5 so far. Unfortunately, a lot of episodes where someone died are good based on the element of loss, but on carried storylines that make an entire episode, the loss of the captain here and his emotion throughout gave us 2 pretty damn good speeches that weren't just they weren't encapsulated to just what Voltes 5 is. I think you could have taken those speeches and apply them to a large number of shows. That's how good that they were. That's why it makes it really good. And then Professor Go's backstory episode has to be my number 1 right now. Because 1, they didn't try and fluff it up with a beast fighter. That's great already. But it was also a pretty good emotional kick on a number of family related things. The slavery thing. I think I equated it to, I can't remember if I did or not. Moses. The story of Moses, right? Except that it doesn't finish. It doesn't finish the story of Moses, it just starts. Really good. It's just really good. But the last bit has to get better, right? Not that it's bad, but it has to get better than that. It's gonna wrap up the whole show. Anyway, I don't know where to go from here. This is really good. I'm assuming I'm gonna have much deeper thoughts about it when I rewatch, take my notes. Much stronger thoughts, clearly, than the first episode that we watched today. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go and wrap up here. So, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stonefaced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?